I don't like the way I am right now. I'm stagnant. I'm sluggard. Um, not eating well. I'm trying to do better, but really just making changes within the past few weeks. And I know it has to be a sustained thing. It has to be a lifestyle change, a full lifestyle change. You can see I haven't gotten my hair cut in so long. Since, I want to say August, late August. That's how I got my hair cut. Looking out here looking like an old man, as some people will say I got all these gray hairs. And, yeah, so it's important for me to just be open and honest about what's going on with me, because if I'm not honest with myself, ain't nobody else got a reason to be. Or even those, there's people who are honest with you, but you really can't you can't take other people's, you have to internalize and speak truth to yourself. And so if you're not willing to do that, then there's no way you can ever change. So I'm doing that, and I'm choosing to do it publicly. I'm choosing to be vulnerable to anybody who cares to watch. As much, ridicule as somebody as I might draw, I don't really care. I get stares all day, every day anyway. People look at me like I'm crazy because I'm walking around probably over 400 pounds again. Before I moved out this way and fell back into depression, I think I was down to 330, which was the weight I was pushing out of high school. So that was good, but I relapsed. I let my depression get the best of me. And that's no excuse, but man, the human mind is very fragile, and I need more people to understand that. Mental health is very serious, and I need more people to understand that. Because one of the things in this walk that I hate, you get so many people who, I hear it all the time, people like, man, how could I even trust you? You don't, to do anything, because you don't do anything with yourself. People look down on fat people because it's like, if you can't even take care of your body, how can I trust you, that you're gonna be a man of your word when it comes to something we're doing, whether it's business or whatever. That's one thing. I've heard people say fat people don't deserve to have fun, fat people don't deserve to be happy. I've heard and seen that fat people, are generally, they have a lower chance to succeed in professional matters, whether it's in the corporate world, whether it's just in general business. Fit, good-looking people are gonna garner the most attention and the most trust, and that's just, I've seen it in my own life. Granted, I've had some good success in my life, but most of my professional life has been on a remote basis. So I don't know if people were to see the real me, if they would think twice about hiring me, for instance, for a job. All they can see is my face. And on my face, on a good day, I can pass for somebody that's, somewhat decent, in decent shape, but from the neck down, it's just like, So I had that working out for my advantage, being able to work remotely. I've done so my entire career. I'm afraid to even try to find an office job, because I don't even know how I would assimilate into that culture, because I've never been in it. There's maybe one office job I've ever had, and that was at a company called Metavante. I was doing customer service. That lasted no more than probably like 3 months, if that. That was just a seasonal thing. From there, I've never been back in the corporate setting. So, in the corporate office setting, I should say. So anyway, that was just a little rant on that, because you got people saying, man, if you fat, I don't even trust you, because how can I trust somebody who ain't smart enough to know how to take care of themselves, and not even thinking about a lot of the childhood traumas that can play into that, not thinking about, depression, stress. I'm not saying these things are excusable. I'm just saying, some people come on later than others. I went through it, and it's not always just because of food, because I'm eating a lot. I actually don't eat a lot of, I guess you would say, like, food, I don't know. Like, I'm a snacker, so chips are my kryptonite, but more than that, I used to drink a lot. Beer, alcohol, that would put on a lot of weight. And at the rate I used to drink, and I was going through a depression from like 2012 all the way up to like 2017. a little later than 2017, probably into 2018. And that depression was something serious. And you're talking about almost 7 years, 6, 7 years of not even knowing who you are, or having a mindset that you know, I was at the point where I didn't care. Yeah, I didn't care about my health because I literally did not want to be here. In the back of my mind, I'm like, look, I just figured I wasn't gonna live long, so who cares, right? And it didn't even occur to me just how bad it was getting until one day, you know, I feel like I could barely walk up and down a flight of stairs without my heart feeling like it's about to explode, or like you just saw, without me being able to walk more than a few minutes before I'm starting to huff and puff and my back is screaming. So, but yeah, when you're in those moments and when you're in those seasons, you don't really see it like that. You don't have the mindset to want to change, because in your mind it's like there's no point. So when you finally come out of that season, you know, it's a beautiful thing. Don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful thing. But then the reality starts to set in of all the damage you've done to yourself over those years. And I'm talking about years. You know, some people say, oh, I'm depressed. Their depression's probably lasting like a couple days of that. I'm not talking about that kind of depression. That's just whatever. I'm talking about chronic, clinical, life-threatening depression. It's real. And it runs deep in a lot of people. And it manifests in different ways. And stress eating and coke eating and all that stuff. You know, they're all just mechanisms. Some people drink a lot. For me, it was a mix of drinking and snacking, eating too many chips. I'm bored, I'm sitting here feeling like ain't nothing to do, ain't nothing worth doing. I get a bag of chips and I watch a movie. And then my little high from that fades away, the dopamine from that fades away. I do the same thing again. Give me a little bag of chips, go watch a movie. Have a beer, watch a movie. All the while, I'm living a sedentary lifestyle because I work from home. And I lost contact with a lot of friends during that time, so I'm really not going anywhere and doing anything. Really not even getting and having no. There were months would go by that before I would get out of the house. I actually think there was 1 year where I didn't get out of the house for the entire year, and that's if you can imagine that. So, like I said, all these things add up little by little. Before you know it, it's just you're just in a bad spot. And like I said, it's like you look back on these like, man, I don't even remember being that person, but it happened. And you just gotta come out of that. When you come out of that, you just gotta deal with it the best you can. Yeah, hey, it sucks. I'm fat. I'm still fat, but at least I got the mind to want to change now. And that's why I wanted to title this video, maybe even make it a series of just welcome to the first day of my life, because the rest of my life, because the thought behind that is every day that I wake up, there's a new opportunity to do better. There's a new opportunity to get better. You know, I like the mindset of trying to get 1% better each day. And some days I might, you know, I want to strive for more, obviously. 1% in the grand scheme of things is nothing. But if I do at least 1%, that's the very least I can do, then I should be on the right path. You know, so that just gives me room to, some days might not be as good, but they'll be better than the day before. You know, I'll try to more than, you know, I'll compound wins and continue to just press forward. I can't worry about what other people think or say or do, you know, because that's the kind of stuff that got me trapped in that in the first place. Worrying too much about what other people think, worrying too much about how I look, worrying too much about, you know, just what other people are doing. You know, why people don't seem to mess with me like that. It just, you can get trapped in the vicious cycle mentally, and next thing you know, you're right back at square one. So this is me coming out of that season again. I'm just trying to find my way, because I'm not gonna lie, you know, this walk is tough. When you walking with the Most High, and the Most High has you in a period of isolation, when the Most High, you know, a lot of people don't really understand me anymore. It's hard for them to understand me. And I used to try so hard to please people. You know, I used to try so hard to try to show people who I am and why I do what I do, and try to be everything for everybody, because I wanted them to know I still love them. I still love all you to this day. Anybody who might be watching, who think I've soured on you for whatever reason, No, sometimes I literally don't have the energy or the capacity to speak. You know, some days I literally just need to be with the Most High. A lot of times those days can stretch. It can stretch days. It used to stretch weeks. But I at least try to. I gotta try to at least check in once every week or once every couple of weeks at least. I gotta get better at that. That's part of my 1% of getting better, is staying in touch with family and friends. You know, I got some friends who I would love to talk every single day, but I can't talk every single day. I can't, you know. And it's not just because of the depression. It's, you know, work. I'll be busy with work. You know, this economy is crazy. Some of us working 2 or 3 jobs out here at a time. Like I said, I'm getting up out of that rat race for the time being. But I was working 3 jobs, and I literally just felt like I had no time to talk. And there weren't the kind of jobs where I could really talk, you know, and not be able to concentrate. So unfortunately, I had to deck a lot of calls and let them know I had to call you back. Sometimes I don't even do that with them. I don't let them know, like, hey, I'm gonna have to call you back. I could at least do that, but sometimes I just let the phone ring and then I forget to check back in, and that sucks. And I hope the people I've done that to know that I wasn't doing it out of spite or anything, or out of lack of care or love. But anyway, oh man, just showing y'all a little bit more of the scenery out here. And yeah, so I just wanted to come on this camera, have a little chit chat, try to get used to recording more. You know, I got this A7C II I'm testing for work. It's a nice compact camera, a full frame mirrorless camera with AI autofocus features and all that good stuff. It costs $2,300 to buy one of these. I'm not buying one. I love it, but I already got an A7 IV. That's my pro camera for photography. It also does video. It's just not as easy to carry as this A7C. So I do like this camera though. I might get one day, but I don't feel like spending money right now. I'm in a season of, I like to say I'm being real Jewish with my money. You know, I got a lot of business and work, a lot of business ideas and plans, and I gotta make sure I set a good foundation for that. So I'm not gonna buy the camera. I already got one. I got everything I need. The point is just to get out here, press record, start sharing my testimony in whatever way I feel like it might be helpful for whoever's gonna bother to tune in. Might do some, you know, progress updates with regard to my fitness. You know, I'm gonna start walking more. We do have a gym here in my apartment complex, but I prefer to walk outside in nature. Although it's about to get super cold, so I'm probably gonna have to use that gym a little more. Also got some weights at home. I'm gonna start lifting those again. I got a VR headset that'll be good for some cardio, but I'm thinking about giving that to my nephew because he's been wanting a VR headset. But yeah, just gotta find more ways to move around. I got a trip coming up to Orlando, so I'm gonna need to be able to walk to that airport because I ain't got time to be rushing through nobody's airport with a bad bag. I'll tell you that much. Got a book bag and carry on luggage, all that. Yeah, I really need this trip to Orlando. I need this. It's like a reset vacation. I just need time to reset, refocus, recenter, and figure out what the Most High wants me to do next. There's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot going on in some of the endeavors I'm involved with. The United Nations of Israel. You know, there's a lot of changes coming, and it's time. It's a season of change. You know, for some of us, it takes a while to come. Some of us can't come soon enough, but the important part is that we all get there. So if there's anybody out there feeling like they need change in their life, I'm here to tell you to just wake up and do it. Let's just wake up and commit ourselves to change. It ain't gonna happen overnight. Whatever it is, whether you want to improve yourself from a financial standpoint, physically, mentally. Everything is a process and everything is an ongoing endeavor. It's never gonna be, you're never just gonna snap your fingers and your whole world is solved. You're not gonna teleport to the finish line. It's gonna be like that dangling carrot, always striving for perfection, always striving to be the best you, day after day after day. Because even if you make it, after you make it to the milestones you set, there's gonna be a new one, and you gotta fix your mind to go after that new one. And that's just how you gotta attack it day by day. Because otherwise, what are we doing and where are we going? It's like, life would be pointless otherwise. Who can you touch today? Whose life can you impact for the better? Because we all got problems. We all got problems. I don't care if you're rich, poor, homeless. I don't care if you're fat, skinny. You could be the most GQ looking person on the earth. You could look like Beyonce, whatever. We all got problems. So, of course, work on yourself first. You can't help nobody else without putting your own mask on before you put your own mask on. But always know that you can also help others, even in your time of, I don't want to say sorrow, because we count it all joy. If we can't look at it as joy, that we're going through circumstances that will help shape us and build us for the better, then we truly don't deserve whatever it is we think we want out of this life. That's just how I've had to start thinking about it. I enjoy the process, the destination, the journey. I enjoy the journey more than the destination, because the destination is never, like I said, it's always changing. It's ever changing. It's never just gonna be, oh, I've arrived and that's it. Because you're gonna get bored. It's like you always hear about stories about people who retire and they gotta find something to get into. They might not go back to working the same job they worked for the past 30, 40 years of their life, but they gonna get into something. New hobbies, some people, they retire with enough money to be able to travel all their days, and that's a hobby. But you gotta get into something. You gotta do something with your time. You gotta strive for something. So, enjoy the journey, good and bad. And I don't even say I count it all joy, because if not for some of the things I've had to go through, some of the trials I've endured, I wouldn't grow. I wouldn't grow. You can't grow. A seed can't grow if it's not first covered in dirt. So sometimes you gotta get a little dirty out here. I'm not saying that in a callous way, or in any kind of evil way. Like, don't be doing people wrong out here. I'm just saying you gotta be willing to go through the pain and the hardships, because then how are you gonna know what it's like to get out of it? How are you gonna know how to attack certain situations and if they arise? If somebody comes to you with a problem, how are you gonna be able to help them figure that problem out and be a blessing to their life if you don't have experience yourself? I'm not saying you have to be a hero to everybody. You don't have to be everything to everybody, but that's just one of the things that can benefit from, embracing challenge, embracing adversity, and just doing what you got to do in this life. I feel like I'm starting to ramble. I don't really know. I didn't really know what kind of message I wanted to put out here today. My brain is still kind of just recovering from this gauntlet of a week, of a couple of months that I've had, I want to say. Especially these past couple of weeks have been crazy. So I'm going to let my brain rest a little bit. Go ahead and get this mail. Again, welcome to the first day of the rest of my life. And we'll see what the next day holds. Shalom.